In what should be, in hindsight, perhaps the least surprising update to a story ever, one of the black businessmen who was at that Trump campaign event we talked about last week at a barbershop in Atlanta feels betrayed by the experience. This is Rocky Jones, owner of the barbershop. He claimed that he was apparently suckered into becoming part of a Trump campaign event after his aides got him to host what he thought would be more of like a private business roundtable for black owners of businesses. So not like an explicitly electoral thing, but more like about the concerns of black business owners. That apparently was how it was described to him, and that obviously is not what it was. He said he was blindsided when Trump called, and then the exchange was filmed and used to promote the former president, who was in town at that point, but didn't even go to the barbershop, to be clear. This is what he said to Atlanta News First. "Feel like I've been betrayed. Mind my business and serve and give haircuts back to the community and have good conversations. It's never been about politics." He explained how the event came to be. It started with a text message, followed by a phone call while he was out of the country. He agreed to host what he thought would be a small private gathering. Instead, the event turned into a crowded affair with like Ben Carson there and Byron Donalds was there, and Trump called in because he couldn't be bothered to cross town or whatever. He said, "I thought it was going to be something real private. I'm thinking about black businesses in Atlanta, small black businesses in Atlanta." And I'm like, okay, so when are we gonna start talking about this? I'm like, why is the ex-president calling somebody in my barbershop? This has nothing to do with small black businesses. And I will remind everyone that what was talked about was about how he had a mugshot and how black people love that he's been arrested for some reason, and about how he cut regulations on massive businesses and gave tax cuts to billionaires. You know, small business stuff. And so, yeah, I would feel kind of betrayed and swindled as well if I was Rocky Jones.
The video will continue in just a moment, but first I have a message for you. TYT needs your help. Membership is vital to survival, so please go to tyt.com/team and become a member today.
But what do you make of it?
Yeah, this is wild. He wasn't even there. Like, it's bad enough that you use this business as a campaign event, as a pure political stunt. It's already a political stunt to say, sit down and talk about black business. It's Donald Trump we're talking about, the guy who regularly uses the N-word in private that we know, right? This is Donald Trump who thinks black jobs is a thing. And so it's bad enough to be like, all right, I'm gonna sit down with Donald Trump. I know it's gonna probably be for his benefit, but let's talk about it. No, he couldn't even have the conversation. Instead, it was him and a campaign event, but no, he couldn't even be there. Instead, it was him calling in. Why not send a cardboard cutout of yourself? And yet we're told that Donald Trump is surging with black Americans. Yeah, compared to no black Americans voting for him. Like, I love that, like the idea that he's gaining is like, ooh, he's almost within a percentage point. Like, I know it's technically more than that, but it's still very low.
I know, and I just, the strategy has been so weird. Like, you know, they have their surrogates, I guess. They send out Byron Donalds to talk about how black people had it better under Jim Crow. And he had a mugshot, and he talked about how migrants are stealing black jobs. So it's a good strategy. I could see him winning the black vote, I think. But anyway, Rocky Jones, to return to him, this is potentially hurting his business because now it seems like it's a pro-Trump sort of thing. He said, "We had some calls Thursday. We definitely got some calls, some backlash, some angry people that don't know me, and I have to deal with that. I have no involvement in politics. We don't even talk politics in my barbershop. It's all sports. The World Cup, soccer, baseball, basketball. Politics is not what I do. I commend everybody to vote, but that's your business. You know, I don't tell you what to do." Well, to be clear, in modern day America, telling everyone that they can or should vote is a political thing that's seen to, for some reason, be a lib stance. I don't know why. So be careful there. You don't want to get more phone calls. But he's saying that it is, as of right now, at least hurting his business. We'll see if that lasts. The Trump team, they're great at PR. They're great at damage control. So this black business owner says he feels betrayed, and they hit back by tweeting out the agreement he signed, implying that that's enough, even though Rocky Jones is saying that the talks he had with the team are different than that. But I guess he signed that, so screw you and shut up. How dare you criticize us while we're trying to get the black vote?
We have
That's
lawyers.
what I get out of it.
Yeah, no, this is basically a threat. It's like, you sign this, we have lawyers, shut up.
That's
Like,
what it feels like.
maybe there's a non-disclosure clause in there to be like, you can't disparage the president. It's just like, this is so sick. And John, remember we did a story, just a couple weeks before about the black church that he supposedly visited? It's like, no, but none of the congregation was there. Nobody cared. The church was full of white people. This was just, I mean, in that case, the pastor actually knew what was up and was like, yeah, I guess so. I mean,
and he said he asked some of the parishioners or whatever, and they were like, no, they laughed and they didn't want to go. And I remain so confused. I gave him credit at least for trying to have an actual event and showing up for it. But like this, they rent the place. He doesn't even go. He just calls in. They're sending out AI cookout images and stuff. There are definitely, apparently, like 1 in 5 black men at least support Donald Trump, according to the polls. Some of them own businesses. Go there. They like you. Some people like you. So go to their business. Why is it so hard for him to just have an actual event with actual black supporters who are not political activists, we find out, and own a business or run a church or whatever? Why is that so hard?
Because it would require actual work. The same thing can be said for UAW, right? And him visiting a plant, back during the strike that wasn't even unionized. Like, there's probably UAW members who support Trump. Just find the union members who support you. But no, you can't be bothered to even do that. So we'll just pick this one. They're not unionized and they love me anyway. But like, put in a little bit more work. Four Seasons Total Landscaping.
It feels very much like that. At least this was a barbershop. When you click the join button and become a tier 2 member, you get access to all of our weekly top 10 lists. What are you waiting for?